I'm not a prayer warrior like my mom, so I'm going to do the best. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this day, Lord, and thank you for John and Sherry opening up their home to us, Lord, to pour into us, into our businesses, Lord. And we just want to continue to give you all the honor and the glory, Lord, because we know that you're going to open the heavens over our businesses and our lives and our family, Lord. And we just thank you. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Yay. Thank you, Karina. So awesome. Well, it's so excited to get started tonight to our monthly training. Welcome, everybody. We're just glad to have you and to be a part. How many people have been in this business for like less than a month? Yeah. Yay! We're glad you're here. Yay. Perfect. Okay. So I have something for you. How many people have been in this business for over 2 years? They're sitting here. Way to go. We have something for you too. And how many have been in between? You're perfect. We have something for you too. This business tells us what our steps to success are, and it never changes. No matter how long you've been in the business. I think one of the greatest things that we can do is when we're getting started is to feel overwhelmed about something. And then if you've been in something for a while is to overcomplicate it. You know, it's like that meme that says, hold on a second, let me overthink this. You know, you ever see that? I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. I'm gonna overthink this thing. But I love that this business kind of simplifies what we're supposed to do. And it's simply this. And I think for me, sometimes I like shut off my brain when I would hear this. Or I didn't fully understand because it was so simple. I just think of this. This is what I said. Kissing. Just tell yourself that when you start getting in your head. Kissing. Just keep it simple, silly goose, okay? Not gonna call ourselves stupid.
I love that.
So kissing. Kissing. Okay, keep it simple, silly goose. Okay. Just that. Your steps to success, what are they? There's the first step, and it's just simply this. It's to join. So everybody sitting in here, you've done the first step. And to be totally honest, that's like the hardest step in this whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, like it's like you got to step outside your comfort zone. That's hard. You got to step through your fear of failure. That's hard. You know, you got to step through what is everybody going to think of me? You know, so really when we like break these down, you guys have already taken the hardest step to do. So way to go. Congratulations. And every month, like if we talk about this is your goals every month, these are your steps to success every month. Every month you kind of rejoin what we would say by getting yourself commission qualified. All that means is you can run your ADBV auto shipment for ADBV, $80 worth kind of stuff. And what that does is that guarantees that you're commission qualified. What I love about that is that they will constantly say, if the product's not kind of changing your life, this business probably won't change your life either. Mm-hmm. And so when you start becoming that testimony of trying different products and trying different things and telling people about it, like, ooh, what are you doing? Oh, your hair looks really good. What's going on with your skin? Why do you have so much energy? Why is there such a glow about you? You know, that's where your business starts changing because you're like, oh, let me tell you. You know what I mean? Like, where'd you get your lashes done? You know, whatever. You're like, it's a natural thing. And so as you're using this, you know, it's a great product. My husband lost 40 pounds on it. You know, so you want to try different things. And then Sherry always says, you don't want to have a taco stand with no tacos. You know, so I remember she was always like, I'm scared to do that ADBV auto shipment at first. But then she had people asking her for wraps, and she's like, I don't get any. You know, so one of the best and easiest things that you can do is run that ADBV auto shipment for wraps and greens on the go. Greens are, I think everybody in the whole world should be on them. If you know me, I'm telling you, please take them because they're so good for you. But if you have them on the go too, you can give samples away, but you could sell your 4 wraps for $25 each. Like you have those friends in your life that just want to try a wrap. You sell those wraps for $25 each. You just made $100 that paid for your auto ship to be commission qualified and paid for your greens. Kind of cool. Okay. So that's one way. The other way is you can just make sales to your friends and that you buy of 150 BV. So it's easy. That step one after you've joined is pretty easy to redo the next month. And then step 2 is signing 4 LCs or what we would call wrap rewards. Okay. And an LC is basically someone who gets a distributor discount without becoming a distributor. I don't really know a lot of other companies that offer that program. And so if you just take a step back and think about that, it's really awesome to be able to go to your friends and family like, hey, will you try something with my discount for 3 months and see how you like it? Especially if you're new, you're not gonna be able to try all 40 products in 1 month. You're gonna be like, it works junkie going on. You're gonna know what changed in here. But knowing what you can, think about the people in your life. If you haven't, on the Diamond Empire, the first boot camp, Diamond Empire Boot Camp 1, under messages, sample messages, there is a video that goes through almost all of our products, and it talks about the benefits of them, and it's literally less than 20 minutes long. You can watch that and write down people's names. So if you've never watched that, you write down people's names that come to mind of what they might use, like, oh, this person's doing this, or this person wants to grow up their hair. For me, my first loyal customer was my mom. I didn't know anything about the business when I signed up, period, except for Sherry was posting pictures of her belly online, and I was like, she wouldn't lie, and those look different. Yeah. And then I was kind of like, can I unfollow my sister-in-law without without that being offensive? That's how I was. And then she got me hooked in, and I'm so glad she didn't give up on me. But saying that, I didn't know anything about the company when I joined, but then I saw they had face wraps, and my mom had gone through chemotherapy, and it had changed her skin so much. And I was like, Mom, will you just try these wraps? Like, my mom wants to help me, but then I want to help her too. And so that's kind of fun. That's like, if you think about it that way, what's kind of your chicken noodle soup list? Who are those people that will pick up your kids from school or bring you soup when you're sick? Who are those people that you can kind of reach out to and go, hey, I'm trying this. Would you try it with my discount? Yeah, like what friend wouldn't? That's going to help me get a little healthier. So you want to sign 4 of those a month. That's basically what they're telling your steps to success are. I call those wrap rewards because for every 2 loyal customers you sign up, you get a pack of wraps for $25. So you could initially turn around and sell those for $25 each and make a $75 profit, which is awesome. So you want to sign those, sorry, y'all, I had to wave at my niece that she takes precedence over y'all. But you want to sign those 4 loyal customers. So if that makes sense. If not, there's way more information on what a loyal customer is on our Diamond Empire Bootcamp. Also, and then step 3 is to sign 3 DTs, or what we would call Go Ruby, because going Ruby, you don't have more than 3 distributors directly under you. So that's 3 friends joining you. And one of them has 2 people joining them, but that's what going Ruby is. And that's just right around under $500 a month average is what a Ruby is. And so your next step is to sign 3 distributors. Hey, you want to do this with me? You don't have, hey, these people are making money. Hey, I know these people doing this. I don't want to be on this adventure alone. Everybody loves an invite. Everybody loves to be a part of something. And people honestly will follow your excitement. If you're excited about something, even if it's not something that necessarily has happened for you yet, but you can see that it's going to happen for you, people are going to want to be a part of that. And so you just ask people, like Sherry asked me like almost every day for 3 weeks, and I kept telling her no. So if you have somebody in your life that you want to do this with, you don't give up on them, because it's possible. She wasn't anything yet when I joined, she was just Sherry whose belly looked different. And that was it. And she's like, I just really want to do this with you, and I'm like, I'm not a salesperson. And then I realized, wait, this is changing my life. Why wouldn't I want this to change my friends' lives? Why wouldn't I invite Jess over or tell Kelly to do this, or, and just start reaching out to people and say, hey, I'd love for you to do this with me. We can do this and have fun, make money, and go on great adventures. So that's your steps to success. Join the party, wrap rewards, and go Ruby. So you sign 3 people. And the thing about that is that never changes. When I started this business in 2014, that was my goal, July 2014. Now the same goal in September 2017 is for me to still sign 3 distributors and 4 loyal customers and make myself commission qualified. But here's a crazy thought. Did you know that if you actually do the steps to success, sign 3 distributors and 4 loyal customers, you could make $200 a month just by doing that and nothing else. Wow, we love to overcomplicate this and figure out how we're going to make a lot of money. Those are fast start bonuses. You sign 2 distributors, you sign 2 loyal customers, help your friend get those first 2 loyal customers, you can place them with them or help them get those 2 loyal customers, and that's $100 fast start. Those are awesome little bonuses when you're thinking about making money with this business. Don't overcomplicate it. And you don't always have to, think way out there. So, but then knowing that, what if you're teaching other people to do the same thing? That's the beauty of multiplication in this business. And that's when it gets really exciting and really fun. And so don't overcomplicate it. Do your steps to success. Stay consistent with it. I love some quotes about consistency. What you do every day matters more than what you do every once in a while. Just keep staying consistent with it. That's your goal. How you're going to do your steps to success, you're going to post on social media, you're going to message people, you're going to ask them to be a part, you're going to throw parties, you're going to blitz. There's tons of stuff that you're going to do to be able to do that. Consistent action creates consistent results. Having consistent action creates those consistent results coming back into your business. And when I have people asking me, how have you become a presidential diamond in this business? The only thing that I can really say that I've done that not everybody else has done that started with me is be consistent. There's no secret ingredient. There's nothing beyond that. It's knowing what I'm supposed to do and staying consistent with it. I just go back to, on a personal side, Joey will tell me sometimes, and I don't say this to come across wrong, so I hope it makes sense. But he's like, man, how did I make such a good decision as a 20-year-old to marry you? And I always think it's because you keep making that decision every day. Mm-hmm. So yes, we stood in front of a bunch of people and made a commitment, but what's made the marriage work is that every day we're still choosing each other. Yeah. And that's consistency. When you're made a choice to join this business, now it's kind of waking up every morning and going, I choose this business today again. Yeah. I choose this business today again. I choose business today again. And another way to stay consistent is you celebrate what you are in control of. And that's making that choice to choose the business.
I love that. And it's funny because it literally took me probably a year and a half into this business until I realized the importance of those steps to success. People will always tell me, I'll talk to someone, I'm like, how are you doing? I'll check in with like a distributor that joined, and I'm like, I just don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. And I'm like, oh, okay. Or I'll talk to somebody and, maybe they signed their first 3 distributors, which is part of step 2 of your steps to success. Step 1, or I guess that's step 3. So step 1, you join the party. Step 2, you want to get 4 customers. Step 3, 3 distributors. So I'll talk to someone like, well, I have my 3 distributors. I just, I'm just waiting. I don't know. And I'm like, wait, the thing is, it finally hit me. The steps to success, the reason the company gives those is so we have a goal to go for every month, and just because we get it, when someone joins your team, if you don't let them know your goal is the steps to success, Ashanti just joined, your goal is 4 customers, which she signed 3, she's working on her 4th one, and then 3 distributors. So give her up for that. Yay, she's doing like a week, 2 weeks. But it's giving her a goal. So make sure, even though you may in your head understand the steps to success every month is 4 customers, that is your goal to sign up 4 new customers and 3 new distributors, make sure that when someone joins you, that's their goal this month, and it's also their goal next month, and it's also their goal. Like someone asked me, what have you signed? I know this month I've only signed 2 distributors so far and 2 customers. Like I'm not there yet. And even at my level, it doesn't matter. Like that's still my goal every month. I actually like to do way more. But then you also have to understand some months you may sign more. Some months you may sign less. I've had, many months I haven't completed them but it's that goal that I'm striving towards every month. Because here's the thing, people are going to join your team. Some will join, some won't. Who cares who's next? I always say that. People are going to join and do nothing. People are going to join and then you call to check on them and they don't reply and they ignore you and then they like block you and you're like, wait, hold on. Like you came and joined me. Like, why are you blocking me? Like, I'm like, I can't find them on Facebook. I get on John's. I'm like, there they are. Oh, I got blocked. Okay. But because not everyone catches the vision. And like Stacy said, it's funny because September this month is kind of like a crazy month to me because it's still surreal just what this business has done for our life. And 3 years ago this month, I was promoting to diamond. The end of September, I hit diamond level. I joined the end of June, and I really was trying to hit diamond by the end of September because I wanted that $10,000 bonus. And I remember the whole month of September, I would do almost every single Wednesday, I would have a wrap party at my house or my mom's house. Like I did wrap parties a lot my first couple months in. And I would sit there and do the presentation, and I would be like, and I'm going to be going diamond this month and getting a $10,000 bonus. And I was ruby. And I think now, oh my goodness, what was I crazy? But I just believed it. I believed it. It was like ignorance on fire, and it's like I was speaking it, I was claiming it, and it happened. And then the next month, Stacy went diamond and got her $10,000 bonus because she believed it. And if she didn't, I believed it enough for us both. It's like, yeah, you're going to go diamond. So you've got to have that belief. But anyway, so the steps to success, they may sound simple, but make sure it doesn't take you a year and a half to understand it. Because I think I would have had a lot of people that maybe I wouldn't have overwhelmed so much by giving them all these little tasks. When at the end of the day, all that really matters is you sign 4 customers and 3 distributors, or your goal is customers and distributors, however you do it, okay? Which brings me to my point tonight is we were trying to think of what should we talk about to the team tonight. And, I really was like, who's ever supposed to be here is going to be here. And so we've got a smaller group in here. Let me see what, we've got almost 30 watching online. And I know people will watch the replay, but I'm excited for those of you that are here because this is something that was a light bulb go off in my head recently, and some of us leaders have been talking about it. But I feel like we need to make sure that we're doing a little less talk and a lot more action. And I'm a talker. But what I mean by that is sometimes I feel like, and when you break down your business, I tell people, maybe you spend 1 hour a day. Maybe you spend 30 minutes a day. Maybe you spend 2 hours a day. Whatever your business time is, you want in a little pie chart, a third of your time to be spent self-development, which is trainings, hopping on knees, maybe you watch a YouTube, whatever, self-development, filling yourself up. You want a third of your time to be spent bringing in, figuring out what to do to bring in new recruits, customers, distributors, because that's what you're paid on. I think self-development's huge, but you're not paid on that. That will get you in the right mindset, but customers, distributors. And then a third of your time spent with, if you've got a team going, maybe you've got 1 distributor under you or 2, or maybe you've got a couple customers checking in on them. So your team is your customers and your distributors. So that's kind of your breakdown. But I feel like a lot of time we do lots of trainings, and we're on, because in our team, we are such a strong team with so many leaders. So we have, our beginner boot camps and tips from the top, and then the corporate does show me the money calls every Monday. And I like having a ton of trainings because then you can pick what fits your schedule. But even sometimes John's like, Sherry, do we do way too much of this training? Should we simplify? And I'm like, no, I actually like there being so many things because you can pick what to hop on. Hopefully if that's not overwhelming, but I just like giving people the option. But I feel like a lot of times we know what to do. Even as leaders, and I've been guilty of this, I know what to teach, but what are we doing, okay? So when you look at your time, my question is, are you doing those action things? Are you doing those income-producing things, okay? And so I printed some memory joggers. And so I want you to take one and pass it. I'll send them from both sides. And the memory joggers, if you're the people that are watching online and those that are going to watch the recording, this is just to help you think of people, okay? And so I want you to think of some people. And I wonder if I should have passed out pens or pencils. We might not need to because you don't necessarily have to fill it all out now or anything, but this is something to just help you think of things. Because here's the thing, you guys. When you first join, you make what we say, make a hundreds list, make a tens list. We say, think of people that would be interested in the products you want to reach out to. But we also say, think of people that you think would be great at this business, okay? So that's the list you want to make. When you're first joining, you want to get a list of people who would like these products. And you could even open our product catalog and go, who would like to tighten, tone, and firm? Who do I know that wants to lose weight? Who do I know that doesn't want to have wrinkles? Like Stacey thought of her mom who had gone through the chemo's and the face wraps, who's trying to grow out the hair? Who do you think needs more fruits and veggies? I remember calling John's parents immediately and telling them about our awesome It's Vital Core, the slow release multivitamin we have. Oh yeah, if anyone wants a pin, yeah. But you don't just think of people when you first join. Every month, if you look at my phone, I have a potentials list, and I'm always adding new people who I think would be good at this business. And I don't want to just sign up anybody. Like, I've had people come to me and I'm like, they're not a good fit for my team. Like, I want to be able to work with you, but I always am thinking of who would be people where I'm like, oh, she would do so awesome at it. And it's still not comfortable for me, you guys. It doesn't matter that I'm at the highest level committee. It is not comfortable for me to reach out to someone still, but I do it because I don't know what this business could do for them. For Stacy, I know I reached out to Stacy and what this business did for her. It's now allowed her to be able to put her kids in a part home school type of school where she could do that. It made it to where she didn't want to have to go to the job she was doing at the girls' school. She didn't want to, but she did financially, and now she doesn't have to. I think of what did it do Stacy offering it to Kelly. Kelly has talked about, I mean, financially, finances were, things were tight her whole life, and her husband are in ministry, and then this has given them an opportunity where now they can just do things, and she can put her kids in extracurricular activities and just different things. And so I know I have something I can give someone, or I think a story always telling me like, these friends are priceless, the friendship. She's like, I didn't know I needed these people until I did, and, you know, talk about things like that. And so, you know, we have something to give to people. So that's what gets me over the ask, but you've got to constantly be doing action. And so for me, my action, actually, before I share what my action is, Julie, will you come share what yours is? So we have something called the 6 list, and mine sometimes is even a 12 list, but the company always says, come think of a 6 list. And a 6 list is, what are those 6 non-negotiable income producing things you're going to do every day? And if you do that every day, that action, it might take you 10 minutes. 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Maybe you do a power hour, 1 hour of income producing thing. This is stuff that will grow your check. And so I want you to come up with a 6 list, and then you'll see how it ties into the memory jogger. But Julie, come share, what's a 6 list of something that you do every day?
Okay, so one of the first things I do is
tell them about you, your occupation, what you do, you know.
Okay, yeah.
So this is not, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so people always think I have all this time, but no, kids are crazy. But this is someone working full-time with a career. So you have 2 spectrums. Okay?
Yes, so
they're both hard jobs.
Yes, I work full-time. I'm a pediatric occupational therapist.
She's like smart.
She's like
career woman.
I try. So I try to fit I'm Ruby right now. I'm going Emerald this month. And so I try to fit my business into power hours in the evening when I get home. So one of the first things I do is I post 3 times a day. And so since I work full time, I post in the morning, I post on my lunch break, and I post in the evening when I get home. So that's kind of how I work around working. Sometimes I post twice when I get home, like once right when I get off, like at 5, and then once later when a lot of people are on at like 8 or 9 before bed. I always do a personal post, so something that kind of has nothing to do with the business, just about my life. I post about the product, something that I'm using, or maybe I'm looking for product models, something like that, and something about the business. So something I'm really thankful for about the business, something that's done in my life. So those are the 3 posts I do every day. Number 2, I message 10 people a day. That is my big goal. Sometimes I do it on my lunch break. Sometimes I do it when I get home. I message 10 new people either on Facebook or Instagram from people who like and comment on my posts. Then I follow up with 10 people every day. I used to try to do like follow-up Fridays where I tried to do everyone on the same day. And then that kind of got really overwhelming. So I kind of just try to do a little bit each day. And then I add to my network every day. So on Facebook, I add 20 people every day. And Instagram, I add about 100 people every day. Just working on growing that network. And that's kind of when I do my interaction. I like and comment on the people who I'm accepting their friend requests. That's kind of when I like and comment. And then number 5, so I check in with my team is another thing I fit into my power hour, whether that's people who are kind of like on my chart or my new distributors who maybe I haven't heard from in a while. I kind of put them on a rotation and check in with them just to see if there's anything I can do for them to help get them started, and just kind of interact with them like that. And then also number 6, I check in with my customers. So the people who are ordering, I write them in my planner for a couple days before their auto shipment runs, and I check in with them a couple days before just to see how they're liking the products. If they have any before and afters to share with me, and just anything I can do for them before their next order. I found that's helpful with like customer retention.
I love that. Thank you, Julie. And you know what I love about this is, so Julie, she's a Ruby, average Ruby, $400 to $500 a month, working full time, plus a newlywed, which she didn't even say, and a newlywed. But she does that. How long does that take you, or do you spend doing that? Like an hour?
Like an hour, like 8 hour.
Yeah, so she does that hour of income producing things, and those are all income producing. So I hear people all the time, like, sometimes I was guilty of this before, saying like, I'm just on my phone all day, like I don't know if I have time for this business. And I remember saying that to Pam Souter, our chief networking officer. She's actually the person who founded the Wraps, on a coaching call with her once, and she goes, if you were doing income producing things for 8 hour a day, you would be Black Diamond. Basically saying you'd be a lot higher up than where you are. So Black Diamonds make 6 figures a month. And it's like, okay. And then I started telling her what are the things I do. You know, I'm like, well, I'm answering questions. And she's like, yeah, that's not making you money. You should be able to work this business in 1 to 2 hours a day, and that be it. And I was like, whoa, but I wasn't being wise. I would go to do something and then I'm scrolling, and then I'm looking at, you know, Rob Kardashian putting poor Blac Chyna on blast, being crazy, or, you know, like I'm just like on Instagram and catching up on the gossip, you know, like I remember one day, like, and I was like, oh my goodness, and what? And then I'm like, wait, oh, I think I was supposed to post, or, you know, and you don't know what you're supposed to do. And so that's the thing. Who's been guilty of that? Or like you look at someone from high school, sisters, and then I'm like, what am I don't know what I started out doing here. And so before it works, I was like, love celebrity, like gossip and stuff. Now, there's no BB in that. There's no BB in that. And I wrote out my 6 list, you guys, which is very similar to Julie. So I put so I know if I do nothing else, if it's a crazy day and my life is spent working at the kids' schools or doing this or that, I know if I wake up and do this in the morning, I did income producing things, and it's crazy to see what it is, but mine's almost like hers, where it's like add 10 people on Facebook, you know, and then I always want to add to my potentials list. And I actually love what Stacy taught me. This is like another day, another time. I should actually have you make a training on this, Stacy, but Stacy taught me how to make lists on Facebook. It's not, what I like about lists is because when you go to them on your phone, you click feeds, and I have one called potentials. And then it gives me all of the people I've put in this potentials list, so I can easier like and comment on their stuff. And you could probably YouTube that. Oh, Kelly made a video and it's on the team page. Will you bump it once Baby's asleep? She'll bump it. She made a video of how to do this. But I love this. I don't post to my list because I like to post to everybody. I want everyone to see it. Like, just because I may not think they're a potential, who knows? They could be. You know, they're selling something else. They may realize our comp plan's unbeatable, you know, or maybe I want my team to see what I'm posting, you know. So, but I love to comment and like on that, because otherwise my regular news feed is all my It Works spam, because I'm always liking and commenting on y'all stuff, which I love doing, but then that's all Facebook shows me because it thinks that's all I want to see. So I love being able to like and comment on my potentials list. So anyways, I do that. I add 20 to 30 people on Instagram, and a lot of times, you know, and I'll try to do that maybe twice a day or 3 times a day. And people say, well, where do I find people? What you want, people that relate to you. I go to stores that I buy my kids stuff from, and maybe I will click on that boutique, and then I'll look at one of the photos they posted, and I don't, and I'm not going to look at the followers. I'm going to look at who's liking, who are people interacting. So there's a cute little dress. I look at all the likes, and I might like click add, kind of look, oh, she looks great, follow. Let me like 3, and then I comment 3 times, you know, or I comment once or twice on her thing and give her 3 likes, because she may not notice. So I started doing that recently, where I added to where each person I would follow, I would like and comment. And I feel like then they're replying. I feel like I'm getting more follow backs. But however you do it, the point is that you're expanding your network, you know? So I do that. And then I'm exactly like Julie. I like to have 3 to 4 social media posts a day. People say to me, like, I just don't have time. When you start making 6 figures doing this business, believe me, that's the best posting like I've ever done. Because a lot of my business is based on that. And I'm just like her. I like to do like morning, because everyone picks up their phone first thing in the morning, which does require a little discipline to have some things planned out. But so I might do something inspirational in the morning, and then I might not do anything else till lunch, you know, lunch break. And maybe that'll be like a product post. And then my 2 best times I really post that I get the most interaction is like a when people are getting off work, like a 5 or 6, and then again, like at 9 o'clock, something like that. So those are my 4 times. Sometimes it's 3, but I really try to do that because, and I do want to spread them apart. You don't want to be posting every hour. Your posts are competing with each other, whereas before we used to be able to do that. And I like deciding, and I want you guys to decide, what do you want to represent? What's your brand? I want to represent a Christ follower, a mom. I want people to think of me as like, she's a mom with 2 daughters, like she's a Christian. She does it works, And so that's why I'm like, I've heard people before, well, it's post once a day or twice a day. And I'm like, all I post is once or twice a day. How am I going to get my brand across? And I feel like the best compliment I got, our pastor said it to us today at our church. She was like, we were talking after service, and he's like, you do such a good job with like, you're like, I love seeing your posts. Like you like believe in those products, but it's not annoying. Like, and it was like such a sweet compliment. I was like, oh, thank you. Because I don't want it to be all about that. And then try getting a little vulnerable. Instead of just posting about the business, talk about what you're excited it's going to do for your life. For me, I had to let down a little pride and share like what a lifesaver it's been and how tight things were, before, and, or what you're able to do the money on, or something with the products. Or don't be scared to get a little vulnerable, because people like real. They like raw. They like authentic, So anyways, like mine is so much like Julie's. So I have my 3 to 4 posts a day. I try to message 5 to 10 people about joining my team. And I'm always, if I think of someone, I have their name to my, potentials list on my phone, like, oh, I got to reach out to them, and I try to keep that going. And then I try to follow up with people, because the fortune's in the follow-up every day. And then I also like to send out that product tester message. And that is gold. Kelly's product tester message, it's on our team page. It's in the boot camp about, hey, so-and-so, I'm updating my portfolio this month, looking for a few product testers. Are you interested in ? That's it. I remember Kelly telling me, oh yeah, I'll send that to 20 to 30 people a day. And I was thinking, girl, I'm not going to spend my time using my phone, sending 30 messages a day. Like, that's not what I signed up for. Then I tried it. It was like, that took me like 1 second. You like copy paste the same thing. I take a photo on Instagram. I go to all the likes, click on each one, send. And because here's the thing, I might send out 20 messages and only 5 are going to reply back. And of the 5, maybe 2, it goes again, and then I get 1 customer from it. Hey, it's not hard, and then I like to spend 15 minutes maybe commenting, liking, engaging. And so I do want to share one thing that was really helpful for me. Take a Ruby chart or take a diamond chart and fill out who you wish it could be, that dream team. And then I keep that, and I make sure when I'm doing my liking and commenting, I'm engaging with those people. Because Facebook, you see such a small percentage. What is it, the percentage, the average you see?
6%.
Yeah, it's like it's 6 to 8% of your Facebook friends is what you're seeing in your newsfeed. So guess what? You think you're being annoying posting, ain't nobody seeing it. They're not even seeing your stuff. But they will see it if you're liking and commenting on their stuff, then you're popping up in theirs. Have you ever noticed that? You like go like check on your ex-boyfriend or something, and then all of a sudden you're seeing his numbers. I'm not friends with any of mine. Actually, John was listening, but I don't think he is. But you like go checking on someone, and you're like stalking their profile, and then all of a sudden they're all up in your newsfeed because you clicked on their thing. Basically, like, oh, she's curious about them, and then there they come. And so, anyways, the point is, this business does not have to be worked all day. I went double diamond, probably working this business 1 hour a day. Like I would do like the mornings and like night. And my girls were 1 and 2. Like I was crazy. I would post while I was peeing. And then when I get them in bed, I'd reply to anything. It does not take a lot of time, but if you can be consistent, it's crazy to see those planted seeds come. You message someone, they tell you no. A year later, they're on your team. Yep. 6 months later, they're on your team. So even recently, I pulled out my chicken list and I sent some messages. Stacy, will you post right now? I want everyone to send a message right now. We're going to do something. If you go to Diamond Empire, she's going to give you a post we want you to do. So the point of Memory Jogger was to, you should already know a bunch of people that you want to message, but you haven't. But I want you to think of 3 people that you want on your dream team. And at least right now, send a message to 1. And we're going to give you a message. You can tweak it if you want, but we're going to give you a message and post it on Diamond Empire. And I want you to send it because it's scary to send it, but then it's so cool when all of a sudden that person eventually says yes, or that seed's planted. But I messaged someone the other day, and she told me no, and I sent John the screenshot. She's like, thank you for thinking of me, maybe later, but and John's like, hey, that seed was planted. And I'm like, you're right. Stacy told me no, and she's on my team now. It made me start to think of, people that had said, Eunice didn't quite say no. She kind of tried, but I didn't really let her. But, Kelly told no. Kelly told Stacy no. Now she's a triple diamond making 6 figures a year. You know what I mean? So that's okay. Those no's can turn to yeses. And so I want you guys to send the message Stacy's posting, but I want you to start thinking in your business, can I do a little something every day? Or almost every day, Like even if maybe you didn't do your little 6 list every day, or you didn't do a power hour every day, maybe if you did it every other day, you would still be amazed. With me promoting Diamond almost 3 years ago today, this month, it means on my Facebook memories, I'm seeing some other people. I'm seeing that Stacy, had promoted to Emerald, and I'm seeing Kathy had promoted to Ruby, and I'm also seeing some other, and then it's cool to see where they are now. To see Stacy went from an Emerald, now she's a presidential diamond, almost built for ambassador. But then I'm also seeing different people whose promotions I was announcing who aren't in the business anymore. And I'm like, I remember seeing a Ruby and thinking, where would she have been? Like she got to Ruby and then just, got busy, life got busier. Oh, you get discouraged if you feel like you're not signing anyone. I have had months where I've signed 0. Who has had months where you've signed nothing? Look at, you were looking at people, and you're looking at double diamonds, and that's just okay, you already paid your 99, so you got nothing to lose. And so my challenge to you is just to be action. So did you post that? Okay, Stacy posted it. Oh, and the message that we have you sending, so go to Diamond Empire, but the message you're sending is simply, hey girl, I've thought about you so many times, so I wanted to finally reach out. At our training tonight, you're challenged to reach out to those 3 people on our dream team, and you're one of mine. I think you would do so good at what I do. Have you ever thought about making extra income on the side? Let me know your thoughts or whatever. Just something like that. Or you can end it with a question and say, have you ever thought of making extra income? Whatever. That's something that I send. But I'm only sending to the people who I do want on my team, And then make sure you get a Ruby or a Diamond chart and start filling it out with those dream team people and pray over that and engage and comment with those people, and it's so cool to see what happens. And so that's my tip. A little less talk, a lot more action. Kelly, will you come now? And I can't wait to see if anyone has anyone to respond by the end of this, but will you come up here now and talk to them about something exciting we have going on?
Yes. So, hi guys. We talk a lot about getting to events, and in the beginning, when they talk about it, I was like, I don't need to go to events. I'm just a distributor. I don't want to spend no money. I'm trying to make money, And so I was like, oh, never bet. If you can get to one event, one of the most important ones is conference. Julie, are you going to go? You need to go to conference. Okay. Yeah. So, good. So February, I put her on blast. I was just thinking, oh, Julie needs to go to conference. Julie, okay. So, right, Jessica. Okay. So in February is our major, big, giant conference for It Works. And there are so many cool things about going to events. Lots of things that they say some things are caught, some things are taught. The best place to catch what you're going to catch is going to be there. And it's in Florida. But it's such an incredible event to see all the different walks of life of people that come that are part of this company and that are at the top of the company. I remember the first time I went, the most impactful part to me was seeing the Millionaires Club people, whatever, come across the stage. And I was like, some of these people, they ain't using their products. I was like, some of them look like the people that, you go to Walmart at 10 o'clock at night. You're like, you're a millionaire in this club. I'm like, you can do it, girl. I can do it, okay. No, that's not nice. But y'all know what I mean. It was kind of like what I was thinking. I remember who was sitting next to me. It was Nicole. And I was like, they're at the top of this company? I was like, how did they do it? How did you get there? Really? But at the same time you go, it is a good thing to be able to look at somebody and then be normal, or them not be skinty, or not be all, okay, because babies, we got to get rid of some baby weight, okay, but they're not all whatever, and they're at the top of the company. I'm like, okay, I don't have to look like that to be successful. I don't have to have this personality to be successful. I can be Kelly Brown and still be a millionaire, okay? And so anyway, a lot of great things about going to the events, but this one specific event is really the one that we just go. If you can be at anything, this is what you do not want to miss out on. Yes, it is an investment, but it is one that you will get a return from. If there is anyone that you would get a return from, that'd be this. And so the tickets are about to be coming live for us to purchase, and they will sell out. They will sell very quickly, and you don't want to miss out as soon as they're released, which should
They
be.
said October, so it
Okay.
should be.
Yeah.
It's just a couple weeks.
It's always in October. I just remember when in October. So that's why I was like, we need to
Yeah.
tell everybody. You don't want to miss coming. You don't want to miss. So just really quick, we wanted to kind of have a couple people come and share what going to conference did for them and how it kind of, affected their business, what the return was for the investment they made. So do you want to start, Marcia?
Me? Certainly.
Okay, so this is Marcia. Double Diamond Marcia.
This is Marcia. I remember when my daughter went in 2016. I've been at Works Distributor since 2015. Yeah, January 2015. 2016, Story went, my daughter, to conference. I was unable to go, kind of in the middle of fighting a little bit of cancer. So I was like, probably should not invest in that. She went, came back, and I was like, first of all, okay, what's a conference? It's just a bunch of people. We've all gone to things in an auditorium, and you just are like, okay, it's just a bunch of people. She came back, and I'm about to cry. She was like different. So I'm like, what in the world? And every time she talked about it, she'd cry, which makes me cry. So she's like, you are not missing this. So I'm like, okay. She tried to share with her dad and her husband and I. She just couldn't even share hardly because it made such an impact on her life. And I'm like, how in the world can something like this make that big of an impact? So I got online when the tickets went on sale. Hang on and just stay online. If you're trying to get tickets, do not give up or hang up. Just stay online. Put your phone on speaker and stay online because it's worth it. We got online. We got our tickets. We went in February. You guys, I can't even tell you. You get in that arena on the first night. First of all, you're with people that you've never met, but they're like-minded people. They're people that have something in common with what you are going, what you're doing for your own business. We all want to grow and be better, and so everybody there was for the same purpose. So we go the first night, and they introduced the millionaires, which was super awesome. And so you're like, whoa, I'm like Kelly, you're just going, whoa, wow, this is crazy. And then Mark and Cindy are up there, and they start a worship service. Okay, I don't know about you, but I don't know how many of your bosses have worship service in that kind of atmosphere like that, but it is from the get-go. We know this is a faith-based business. They are a faith-based business. And out of the heart, the mouth speaks, and that's exactly what they do. Karina and I were sitting by each other just like bawling. I mean, I'm like, oh my Lord, gosh, Lord, this is for real.
It's legit.
This is the real deal here. And the whole weekend, it just got better and better and better. And you get to meet people that you talk to on Facebook or that you talk to on Instagram that are there and hear stories from people and how they got there and the struggles. And so because it changed me, from the inside out, it changed my business. Because I could go back and say, oh gosh, guys, you have to be there. You just have to experience it. It's phenomenal. Don't miss conference. Don't miss conference. Listen, you can have 8-10 people in a room. We all make room, sleep in the bathtub. It's fine. It's been done. So don't miss it. Get a room and just go. And go by yourself. If you don't know anybody, I had a DT that came in from Hawaii. Flew all the way from Hawaii to go to it. So it will change your life. It's not a cliche. It really will change your life. It really does.
Thanks, Story. Sorry, sending my message.
Hey y'all, I'm Story.
Double Diamond also, and Marsha's daughter. And I was going to give my 2 cents about why I think conference is a huge game changer. And again, not only in your business, but in your life, if you let it. So, you know, I remember the first time that Sherry went to conference, she'd only been in, I don't know, like 6 months or whatever. And she's like, their little 5-person or 6-person crew went. And I remember seeing all the pictures and I was like, oh, that was fun. They looked like they had a good time. And she was like, you're going next year. And I was only like, I don't know, 3 months into my business. And I was like, okay, I still like hadn't really caught the vision quite yet, but I was like, yeah, whatever. And then before I knew it, I was like, absolutely, I'm going to this next year. So I did. I bought my ticket, was all gung ho. And you know, there is just nothing like, it's so hard to explain what it's like to have, you know, 20,000 people or whatever it is, 25,000 people, probably more this year, all in the same room, having the same thoughts, the same, and it's positive. So it's like, it just literally creates an energy that you can't explain unless you're in the room. It's kind of like a concert, right? Like you're all there for the same reason, you're all hyped up, and it's the same thing. Like you're just so into what they're doing. You get to hear all the stories, like she's saying. And so there's that. You also get to hear, like, you know, product descriptions in depth. There's all kinds of cool, like, training on fire, kind of like training on steroids, you know. It's like we do these kinds of things, but it's like even more, and you're hearing from the actual people that created the products and the CEO and his wife. So it's kind of, that's a good, cool part of it. But I'll tell you my personal experience of why it actually changed my business. So I struggled a lot with confidence in the beginning of this, big time. And just sort of that whole, like, I wasn't sure what people were going to think about me. I had started posting, but I wasn't really being like, I don't know, I was just too afraid to be all in, honestly. And it was my fear of what other people were going to think about me. And, you know, I prayed about it a lot. I was just like, oh, God. And trying to figure out how to say this. So I had been praying about God helping me be brave. And that had been sort of like one of my like daily, like, God, please make me brave. Like, I don't want to be so scared that I can't do this because I feel like I'm supposed to be doing this. I had started to see the people that I could reach and, you know, products that were helping people and that the, you know, business could help, like my mom, and like things that were really meaningful and impactful. And so that had sort of been my prayer. Well, fast forward, getting to conference. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Getting to conference, and there's this worship service after. Well, I'll be very honest with you. I was like, oh, we don't probably go to that. We're like going to go to the bar afterwards, right? And they're like, oh no, like we're going to stay. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay, well, I'll stay. You know, I can do that too. And I will be very transparent. I'm a Christian. I love Jesus and have a relationship with him, but I had not been in church in about 20 years. And I stood in that worship service super, super uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie, which is weird because I do have a good relationship with the Lord, I feel. But over and over, every single song was talking about him making me brave. And I just knew that that was him answering my prayer. He was talking to me. I was supposed to be in that position, in that seat that day and that night. And I just heard him say, don't leave me out of this. So my point in that is saying that is that even if you don't think like you need it, or even if you don't think it's going to impact you in any way, and you're like, oh, okay, like she said, like, okay, cool. So you're going to do a worship service. That's great. And maybe you're like me where you're like, oh, I will like actually go to that. I will tell you that that was what I looked forward most to the next time I went, because it just is going to show you. Let me just say, if you can sit in that room in that worship and not feel something, there's something wrong with you. Like you have no soul or something, right? Like you don't know what sort of message you need to hear. And so that's why I would say, oh, and P.S., that month I went Double Diamond. So I know that that's not a coincidence. I know that's not an accident, because he showed me that I can be brave and I can step out of my comfort zone. But I don't think that I would have known that had I not been in that seat that night. So
Amen.
that's it. Hey guys, I'm Yadis. Also Double Diamond. I wanted to kind of just share, I feel like when people hear conference, if you're anything like me, I was like already had eliminated, like I'm not going, we don't have the money. And I always get emotional, but my husband's pretty awesome.
And when our team started, we were just 5 distributors, and we didn't have the money. When I joined, $100 was a lot. And he called Sherry, and he's like, tell me where it's gonna be. I just want her to get away and have something positive. Because I didn't really care to do the business. I thought I just wanted results, And he flew me to Florida. We went with the team, and it was incredible. In that moment, like Kelly said, we were able to see that anybody can do the business. And if you're sitting there not knowing like if this is for you, or thinking like, I don't have the money, this is an investment. And I feel like that's the best way, for you to do this business, is to invest in yourself. And if you don't believe it, don't worry, because we all, you can borrow all of our belief. So I feel like that was my biggest thing. Coming back from conference, I didn't believe in myself, but I had, Kathy holding my hand. We believed in each other, and we did it,
That's what we think.
How do you follow that? I don't know, it was like 4 or 5 days ago, me and Sherry and, I don't know, Story, someone else, I don't know, we were brainstorming, like, what does the team need to hear? I can't remember who it was. Yeah. We were at dinner. There you go. I do have a memory. And, I just said, Lord, I want to get back to kind of the basics, like something that'll speak to our team, because I know it's an awkward season right now. Some of you are brand new, and you're coming in, and you're like, awkward season. I'm signing loyal customers left and right, and we're like, good for you, No, but that's the beauty of being new, is that it's exciting and you're going. And so we have like this whole set of newbies who are just doing an amazing job. And man, if there's anything that I can get fired up about, it's just seeing new faces that I've never even got to meet or hug their neck yet, and just see them like jump full into this business. And it's awesome. And then on the other spectrum, you have people who have been in the business 3 years, and they've seen several cycles. And praise God for those people, because like, they're kind of the ones who know, what it takes to be successful, but more, just as important to that, they're leaders now, and like who you signed up with, like you're in it with them. And just the more mature you get together, the better you are. Whether it's this type of business or whether it's a, Fortune 500 company, it all started somewhere. And it was just maturation. And then, 10 years later, you have a firm business, a firm small business, and that's what we're in for. And I was just praying like, Lord, show me something and give me something. And he didn't, until I went to church this morning, and it was actually our pastor. I told him after service, I said, I'm going to tell our team tonight that I just prayed and the Lord just gave this to me, and not give you any credit. But no, I'm just playing. It was at the very end of this service, and he actually ran out of time, so he didn't get to show the full clip. So I'm going to transition from Elise's heartfelt message to Star Wars. And I'm going to show you a clip real quick, and I'm going to try to turn on subtitles, and I'll put the link online, because I know y'all won't be able to see it or hear it real well if you're on the Zoom. And then we're going to talk a little bit about it, because I think it'll speak to the person who just started, but it'll also speak to the ones who have been in the business for a while. And let me see if I can do this. Hopefully it's not a complete disaster. We'll see. Oh. Okay, and I'll turn it up. And I'll turn the subtitles on, because Yoda's I have to fast forward. See, this was supposed to go way up. Here we go. Okay. Turn the subtitles on. Okay, I'll just watch.
We'll never get it out now.
So certain are you? Always when your work cannot be done. You do nothing that I say.
Master, moving stones around is one thing. This is totally different.
No, no different. Only different in your mind. You must unlearn what you have learned.
All right, I'll give it a try.
No, try not. Do or do not. There is no try.
It's too big.
Size matters not. Look at me. Judge me by my size, do you? And where you should not. For my eye is the force, and the powerful qualities. And it breeds it, makes it grow. Its energy surrounds us and binds us. Luminous beings shall be, not this crude matter. You must feel the force around you. Free you, be free. Love everywhere. Yes, even between land and ship.
You want the impossible.
I don't believe it.
It's why you fail.
So I'm no Star Wars junkie. I couldn't tell you anything about him, so I'm not that guy. But so this clip, obviously, he's trying to teach him how to use the Force. and Luke's learning, and he's basically teaching him faith. And Luke's cool with moving rocks, but they've got this ship that's drowning. And Luke says, well, it's easy to move rocks, but it's hard to save a ship. And I love what Yoda says. He says that moving stones are different. It's just different in your mind. And then he says, you've got to unlearn what you've learned. And I think if there's something that we could say about this business is that once you're in this business, you're going to have the highs of highs, and you're going to have other months, and then you're going to have some in between. And a lot of times you're going to find yourself looking at everyone else's situation, where their business is, where you are, and you're saying, well, they're moving rocks and I'm trying to move a ship here. But the fact is that it isn't any different, that it's all right here. Each and every day you wake up and you have a belief that it doesn't matter what I'm going through in my life, with my family, with my marriage, with my job, with this business, that we're not dealing with like some force with Star Wars, but we're dealing with the power of the Holy Spirit. And we're dealing with a God who knows what we're going through, when we're going through it, before we even have gone through it. And so while we're focused on our own power and saying, I don't know how to move this rock, I don't know how to move this ship, the Lord is saying, I've already promised you that I'm going to move it for you, but you've got to get it right here, and you've got to get it right in here. And then I love what he says, is he says, I'll give it a try. And Yoda yells at him and says, no try. Do or don't do. And I think that the people who are successful in this business, I'll give it a try, was never really an option. They may have said, I'll try it for a year. I'll do something every day for a year and see what happens. But I think the people who are waffly in this business up and down is they wake up every morning and they say, I'll give it a try. And that's why your business is barely surviving and it's not flourishing. And so as a leader, I think now is a time, like we've been in it 3 years. Like there's times that, you know, we're pumped, we pat each other on the back. But for some of you, I would say this, like either do it or don't do it. Because here's the thing, God's either called you to it or he hasn't called you to it. Maybe he called you to it, and you know what, I hate to even say this because it's going to give you an out, and you're like, well, I just want to quit, I just want to give up. Like, I don't know where you're at, but I'm telling you as your leader, like do it or don't do it. Because if you're not supposed to do it, like you're wasting life on something else that you were called to do, something else that you were called to be. But I truly believe that if you are here, especially all the new people that have joined over the last 3 months, like there's a reason that you're here for such a time as this. There's a reason that you got that message, you got that phone call. There's a reason your friend harassed you for months on end, for 2, for 3 years. And there's a purpose behind that calling that's on your life. And what I want to challenge you in September, this year, we're going to the last quarter of the year, like do it or don't do it. Like do it with all of your heart and see what will happen in your life. Me and Sherry, we didn't get to where we are today is because we woke up every morning and we said, oh, we'll give it a try. No, we said, we're going to wake up every morning and we're going to do it. Like, we're just going to go. Like, we're just going to give it all we have. And people may think we're crazy, and people may be like, what in the world is going on? But, we were talking to our pastor. I said, when you start seeing mamas come home, when you start seeing debt being paid off, when you start seeing people start living in freedom, you start caring less and less about what anyone else thinks in life. Because at the end, when we're standing before God, it's not, oh, what did Susie think about me? Or what did, Jake think about me or whatever. It's God, what did I do with what you placed in my hand? And I think for some of you, you've been waffling a little bit, and I'm speaking to even some that have been in for 2 and 3 years. I'm going to ask you, do it or don't do it. Like, go for it, or you know what? Get your team in the hands of someone who is doing it, because you're doing them a disservice as well. Like, I believe that the Lord says in his word that to whom much is given, much is required. And the days of just kind of waffling through, like, I'm sorry, if you're a diamond or above, like, you haven't arrived. Me and Sherry, we haven't arrived. What it means is that God has put people underneath us that we are to lead, that we are to pray for, that we are to believe in, that we are to uplift. And if you're not cut out for it, then give those people to someone who's ready to roll and ready to do it. Because I really believe, we've said it for 3 years, for whatever reason, the Lord has given this team favor. The Lord has given this the greatest team that has been ever assembled, not because we're the most talented. I mean, we are the best looking, but he has given us people who love people. And if you're not loving people and you are more concerned with your paycheck than changing lives, you're just on the wrong team. Like you've just kind of lost it somewhere along the way, and you need to get that heart realigned. And there is no try anymore. Do it or don't do it. And then he catches us at the very end with a right hook. It was hard to see on the video. But Luke walks up to Yoda and says, I don't believe it. And Yoda said, and that's why you fail. And I think if there's one thing, like a mic drop that I could give you tonight, the people who are successful in this business, they don't say, I don't believe it. They don't. They say, I am dumb enough to believe what the scripture says, that the Lord has more in store for me than I could ever think, than I could ever hope, than I could ever imagine. That there is something inside each and every one of us that we're here, but we haven't arrived. Like, I don't want, like, man, I feel like if life was cut off today, I feel like there's potential still left in me. And I don't want to go to sleep tonight leaving anything on the table. And I think that our team, God has so much in store for us over the next year, 2, 3 years, but we've got to start believing it. Like, we shouldn't be shocked anymore. Like, it was okay to maybe be shocked year 1. You know, it was probably okay to even be shocked year 2 when we were a top 10 team. But at this point, I'm just like, God, nothing's going to shock me anymore. Like, it's not going to shock me if we have 20 ambassadors on our team in the next 3 years. Not going to shock me. It's not going to shock me if we have so many ambassadors that, like, we have to do ambassador retreats instead of diamond retreats. Like, I'm not leaving like any limitation. I'm not putting any limitations on what the Lord wants to do with each and every one of us. But I think the days of us being shocked when great things happen need to be gone. That we work hard day in and day out. We give our best to our team. We give our best to our community. We give our best to our spouses, to our family, to our kids. And God is going to honor that. And you say, John, I just started. The Bible says, when you're faithful with a few things, I'm going to make you ruler over many things. Me and Sherry, we started just like you did. Stacy started just like you did. Kelly started just like you did. Mama started just like you did. Karina started just like you did. There is no shortcut to the top. We all started at a distributor level with 0 in volume, every one of us. The only difference is we said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to believe. I'm going to be crazy enough to believe that I have what it takes to do it. And the people you see that are successful in this business, like, they're not shocked. You know why? Because they know what it takes to be successful. They do it day after day after day. And we have accomplished so much in 3 years. But I mean, I just think of like everyone in this business is like 3 years. Y'all have been in a good amount of time. And that's like, where was Apple in 3 years? Like whatever company you work for, like where were they 3 years ago? I think of the company that I work for, like I've been there 8 years. Like this is nothing. Like 3 years, we're babies. And God has done so much in 3 years, but there's so much more to do. And you know what? The cream's going to rise to the top. And this fall, I'm looking for promotions. I'm looking for some amazing new faces. Like you're on this Zoom, amazing new faces that are just going to be like, whoa, where did they come from? And you know what? It's probably going to be the people that don't have I'm going to give it a try mentality. They're I'm going to do this. And my family deserves this. You know what? I'm sick of living paycheck to paycheck. I'm sick of not having extra. I'm sick of having, more month than money, and the people that do that, it's not going to shock us because it'll be that same mentality. And so we love you guys. We are so thankful for each and every one of you, all of you listening online and on the replay. We're just so blessed to have you. And we believe, Yadis said it best, like if you don't believe in yourself, you can borrow ours for a while, but at some point your leader is going to call you on it because you've got to start waking up every morning believing that God has great things in store for you. So we love you guys. I'm going to turn it back over to Sherry and Thanks.
Okay, well, thank you. That's awesome. No, yeah, I love that. I haven't seen Star Wars in ever, and it's so true. You have to have that belief, and it really is. Cami always says, and you probably heard me say it, but she's like, this business is 80% mentality, 20% skill. You know, and it's kind of like everything in life. You know, when you see the people that do it, it's like they knew it was going to happen. Like they believed it and did it, and that's really outside of this business, just anything with life, family, you know, and so. Lastly, I'm really excited that tomorrow, so Mondays, we've always had our eSuite training, which you may have hopped on once, you know, when you're first learning how to use the website. But the eSuite training is now going to be Wednesdays at 8:30. And instead, every Monday, we're going to do a power hour. What Julie said, that 6 plus, that's a power hour. So it's going to be the same Zoom link we use for everything, and Danielle Boyle is going to be doing tomorrow's, and we're going to have different people do it, but it's going to be from 7:45 to 8:45. And so what we're going to do is it's the same time as the Show Me the Money call, which a lot of people don't get on that, I know, but it's awesome. You especially need to be on it tomorrow because John and I are going to be on the call with Pam Saturn, but it's the It Works corporate call. And so what we're going to do is that call is from like 8 to 8:45, but they're going to give a list of things, and we're going to get on Zoom, and everyone's going to message with sample messages and go through. If you've never done a power hour, it's going to be awesome. It's income producing things. So 7:45 to 8:45. We're going to try it for this next month, 2 months, and see how it goes. And so we'll do power hour every Monday, and then save the date. John will be posting, but our It Works Gives Back week starts tomorrow. It Works does we have an awesome Gives Back foundation. You can actually select for money to go from your pay portal, $1, $2, $3, or something like that. But and it's neat because they support human trafficking and missions. We partner with not World Vision, what is it? Children's Cup, and just so many other cancer, the Dickie V Foundation for cancer. I mean, I love that It Works Gives Back. So what we're gonna do, John's gonna have a post, and anything you do, you're gonna hashtag Gives Back Week 17. Maybe you're like, I can't do a lot, and maybe you just pay it forward and pay for the Starbucks drink behind you, or maybe you take some clothes or kids' clothes and donate them, or maybe, you know, whatever you do, be loud about it, and show people, because I think sometimes we're scared, you know, because it's like, oh, I don't want to, like, you know, boast or tell people what I'm doing things. But the flip side is when you do something and show someone, it might inspire them to do something, you know. And so whether it's giving an extra big tip to your waiter or waitress, or, you know, maybe you're going to go work with Soup Kitchen, hashtag Gives Back Week 17, and then post a picture. First, post it on your normal Facebook so It Works can see it, but then also on Diamond Empire, John's going to have a post under there, and he's had fun giving $5 Starbucks gift cards to different people that have done, like, the Blitz Day. He picked, I know he already did, Leanne got one, he's sending her, but for Raft Day and Blitz Day, so we're going to also give some gift cards for that. And that is it. So thank y'all. Sorry we went a little long. Bye, everyone that's watching.